excited to be back for the winter quarter and going?
Very excited. Excited to see the sun came out today because we thought we were going to get snow. So to get to be out on the field today, I know we're all really looking forward to that. Today is our first team practice. Last week we had our 8-hour week, so it was more of individuals, smaller groups. So I think for all of us to get together as one team and kick off the next 3 weeks before we head to Mexico we are all looking forward to it.
This could be a good metaphor then for the first day. Then.
I agree.
What are some of the biggest questions you have to answer for yourself the next couple of weeks?
As far as questions, I think they're all good questions. Like, last year we were versatile. This year, again, we're very versatile. So what's nice is that we can put different people in different spots. So it's just seeing how we all fit together and what our options are.
Different kind of versatility, though? I mean, not having to press people to be versatile, but you have the bodies to be versatile?
Definitely. We have the bodies to be versatile, and we can, I think about Val, who's a freshman, and in practice, you'll see her play middle infield, you'll see her play behind the plate, and you'll see her play in the outfield. So it's us as coaches trying to have that all situated for her to get the time that she needs because she legitimately can play in those 3 spots.
I think there's a big expectation of increase in pitching. So can you just talk about how that can fall your evaluation of pitching staff?
Yeah, this pitching staff, I'm excited for you to get to see them work together. They're a great group. We've got 2 lefties, we've got 2 righties, and all 4 of them are completely different. And I really like that. I think they're going to give 4 different looks. Last year we really had to depend on Jordan, and she did an unbelievable job for us. That's one thing I'm so proud of her about. But for her to, this year, step on the mound and be at her best every time she steps on the mound versus being tired because she's thrown how many games in the row or how many innings, I think that's going to be huge for her. And not only for her, but for the others as well.
One of the biggest areas of strength last year was just the defense, and you return almost the entire infield and obviously the rock in center field. Do you see that as being another strength this year and even an area that you could possibly be leading?
Yes. When you talk about defense wins championships. And to know that our infield returns, the majority of our infield returns, and from them being freshmen and inexperienced last year and having to learn along the way, this year they are very experienced and they're young, and I think that's kind of lethal when you can talk about a young team that's experienced. And then adding some of our newcomers and adding some of our new freshmen, I think our defense is going to be very strong this year.
In terms of sorting out how you'll use the pitchers, how many conclusions were you able to come to in the fall, and how much do you still have to determine over these next few weeks before you get going games?
I think this fall, basically just seeing what they can do, and from that, just seeing how different all of them are. But from there, I think with softball, you're starting to see more with softball go in the direction of baseball, where every game now we're going to be able to say, Jordan, you're starting for us, McKenna, you're relieving, and Samaria, you're closing this one out. Now, if Jordan wants to throw all 7 and take care of her business, great. But if not, she gives us 4, great. McKenna, clean some things up for us in the middle, and Samaria, close it out. I think to have those options is what's going to really allow us to do things that we want to do this year.
Are you just picking and choosing names there? If you had to go game 1, is that?
Yeah, picking and choosing names. Okay. These guys have all been great, and what's awesome is this year with our pitchers, with our defense, you name it, and the friendly competition that's been taking place all fall and even right now, that's huge for us. It allows, I know they're going to come out and be their best, because if I come out and have an okay day, I'm giving an opportunity to somebody else. So,
how do you feel this team is now compared to last year?
I would say all of us in general are just, I would say, settled. There was a lot on us last year. There's a lot on our plate, but I loved how they fought through the adversity. I think of some big time things that happened for us last year as a team, and I feel like those big moments last year are going to really benefit this team this year. They're settled, they're older, they're more experienced. We've been through it, They know how to compete, they know how to fight through tough situations. So I can't wait for our season to get here.
What about you personally, though, as a coach, as a head coach? What did you learn from last year? Some things that you take away from that too?
Absolutely. It's I've learned the same thing, like, for myself and what I have in me in dealing with adversity and how I can handle that, and our coaching staff. And there's some tough times last year, and lots of times when you have tough times, that's when you really get to see people's true colors. So to see everybody stay strong and just continue to fight. You think at the end of the season we just missed getting into postseason. So you look at the very end, it's like, well, we didn't get to postseason, so now are we going to just kind of breeze through the rest of it? And we didn't. They played every game like we would if we were going to the postseason. So I just think all the experiences that we dealt with last year, positive or negative, is going to be huge for us this year.
Rachel back to full go?
Yes.
That's-
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So with her back, how does that help you decipher? I know you talk versatile, but first and third in the fall, it was Maya mainly at third, so you're going to go back and forth between the two of them? Does one play first? How do you sort that out?
Yeah, that's where that healthy competition in practice, that's where it gets to play out for the next 3 weeks, and really get to see who's going to be the one that's going to be there. I loved what Rachel did for us last year, and I'm expecting big things from her this year.
Who's in the mix in left field?
I would tell you there's a lot of different people in the mix. We have, you want to know who had a really great fall this year was Hannah Gailey. She had an excellent fall. In the weight room, out on the field, you could just see that a year older, a year more of experience and what it's done for her. So there's been some cool things like that we've gotten to see this fall. But it's, like I said, these guys are competing. They're fighting for their spots right now.
What are the toughest? Who are going to be the toughest people to unseat? Assuming you don't have any starters in ink yet, but who do you feel real comfortable with in terms of the job they're doing at certain positions?
Yeah, you look at Hailey and what she's done in center field, and she's going into her senior year. I feel Hailey is on a mission. I think she wants to walk away from her senior year knowing that she did everything she could, and she led this team. She did everything as an athlete, as a teammate. So I think that one would be a tough one. And I like what she's doing right now. She's been a great leader for us.
One of the areas where you guys were hit with attrition and a ruling was at catcher. Where are you at catcher this year?
Very deep. Shay was excellent for us last year. Last year we were waiting for Tara McGowan and hoping that she would be able to play with us last year, and it didn't work. And now this year she's a redshirt freshman who's excellent behind the plate. Again, you have Val, who can play behind the plate and can also play in the middle infield. And Annalisa, she did a great job for us last year, and again, another year of experience under her belt. So you look at some of the areas last year where we were a little thin, and we're definitely a lot thicker this year.
You mentioned some of the learning experiences from last year, some of the moments that you look back on, you can take something from that. Is there any one moment in particular that you point at and you tell your players, hey, look at what we did here to see our potential as a team?
I think one that sticks out for us and would stick out for many is just the UCLA series, to go in and to beat the national champions at their place, and then the other two games that we were in, we were in them. So I think last year shows no matter what you're going through or what you're dealing with, if you put your mind to something and you know how to unite as a team and know how to compete as a team, you can do anything. Sky's the limit.
As far as hitting, I agree, but it seems like the starters fast. To maybe swinging at too many bad pitches and letting too many good ones go by? Is that a correct evaluation?
Yeah, we definitely want to swing at the strikes and not be swinging at pitches out of the zone. I think at times last year we started to expand our zone a little bit. But again, I think from just the amount of at-bats that they got last year, that you'll see a difference with them at the plate as well. It's the experience factor I think is huge for this team. A lot of our athletes last year, the number of bats that they've gotten, things that they got to be a part of last year, maybe at the beginning of the year that might have not been the case for them. So I look at their at-bats and their opportunities and how much playing time that they got, and basically they got thrown into the fire. So I think you'll see them handle some of those situations a little different this year. Definitely that strike zone will shrink. I think you'll definitely see that.
I wonder, just to get a sense, does the nation have a sense, does the softball community have a sense of like just how different a look you're? Are you going to feel like you're going to have something to prove all year, kind of prove doubters wrong, or do you think there's a respect that with the talent you guys have, this is going to be a different season for you guys?
Yeah, I don't know what the softball world is thinking out there about us, and I'm okay with that. To me, and I said this a lot last year, I'm concerned with what we think as a group and how we're going about it. And to me, if we know what we want and we put it out there, then from there, you know, softball world might start to see that we definitely look a little different this year. But for me, the biggest thing I care about is this group and what they think and how they go about it. And this group, if you were to ask them if they thought we were talented, they would tell you, oh yes, we're pretty talented.
So you guys had Lois Youngin come and speak to the group. What was that like?
It was awesome. She was great. She's 86 years old, and just to see the way that she lives life, she doesn't take a day for granted, and her experiences through the All-American Baseball League, and for her to be able to share those experiences with our athletes, and to see, she was talking about their schedule. They had like 110 game schedule where we play 56 games, and they had 2 days off. So it was just nice to hear her experiences and the things that they had to go through, and why it all began. And it was a really good day. It was nice for her to come in yesterday and basically kick off today's practice. Got a lot out of it. I appreciate her and what she's done for baseball, what she's done for softball.
Thanks, Coach.
Good. Okay.